27, verse 21, the verse says, "Or shochavim kol behema," cursed be the one who sleeps with any animal, and all the people said, "Amen." Or shochavim achoso bas aviv basim, or cursed be the one who sleeps with his sister, whether she's a daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother. V'amarko Amen. People said, "Amen." Or shochavim chotan, or cursed be the one who sleeps with his mother-in-law. V'amarko Amen. Everybody says, "Amen." Or makereo b'seiser. Cursed be the one who strikes his friend in secret. And Marco Amamin. And we said this yesterday, so we did do this. That refers to Lashon Hara. Arur Lokeach Shochad, cursed to be the one who takes bribes, Lakos Nefesh, Tamnaki, to strike somebody. By the way, Aviv, I just got a message from Yankee. He said he'll get it ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Arur Lokeach Shochad, cursed to be the one who takes a bribe, Lakos Nefesh, Tamnaki, to strike down the soul of an innocent person. And Marco Amen. Aurora Sher Lo Yakim et Divrei Torah Azot Hasodatam. First to be the one who does not uphold this Torah, to do all them. And Marco Amen. Everybody says Amen. Rashi says, what is it? Asher Lo Yakim Kan Kalawat Kol Torah Kula the Kibu Alem Va'ol V'Shvua. Here he includes the whole Torah, and they accepted it with an oath. So basically, this was another covenant they accepted upon themselves with an oath. At Mount Gerizim and Mount Tevel, they took an oath upon themselves. Of course, they haven't done this yet because they're not yet in Mount Gerizim and Mount Tevel. They're going to do this with Joshua. They're going to accept the whole Torah upon themselves. And all the people say Amen. Okay, well, Dr. Shore, very good to see you. Very good to see you. Yeshua. Now up to chapter 28, verse 1. We're up to now is the curses. First is the blessings. Blessings and then the curses. Vayam Shemoah Tishma B'Kol Hashem Okecha. If you listen to Hashem your God, V'shmor Ba'asot Es Kol Mitzvotav, to guard and to do all of His commandments, Asher Anochim Mitzavcha Hayom, that I'm commanding you today, V'nisancha Hashem Okecha Elyon Al Kol Gayei Eretz, and God will place you above all the nations of the earth. Okay. And all these blessings shall come upon you, and they can overtake you. All these blessings will come upon you, and they will overtake you. What a beautiful phrase! The blessings will overtake you. Do we even know what that means? The Gemara is going to tell us what it means. But such a beautiful phrase. Imagine being overtaken by blessings. The blessings will overtake you because you listen to Hashem your God. And what happens then? Baruch Atav Ba'ir, you'll be blessed in the field. Baruch Atav Asada, you'll be blessed. You'll be blessed in the city. You'll be blessed in the field. Baruch Privin Nechau Friyad Mascha, the fruits of your womb and the fruits of your land. Pribam Techa, and the fruits of your animals. All of this will be blessed. The fruits of your field, your city, and your animals. Okay. Shigar Awafecha. We'll see what that means. Rashi is about to tell us. Ba'ashtaros Sonecha. We'll see what this means. What is Shigar Awafecha? Rashi says that shigar in Aramaic means to send forth. So Vlados Bikarcha Shabaim Mishagert Mime'echa. This refers to the offspring of your cattle that the animal sends forth from its inside. Shigar alafecha. It's Aramaic, Rashi says. Ashtarot sonecha. And the ashtarot of your flock, the herds of your flock. What does this mean? Rashi says, Kitar Gumo, as Unkos renders it, the herds of your flock. The rabbis say, why is it called by the name Ashtarot? Why is it called Ashtarot? Shema Shirot et Balayan, because they enrich their owners. Umachsikin osan ka'ashtarot halalu shein silaim chazakim. Why are they called Ashtarot? Because they make their owners wealthy, ma'ashirot, machazikot otan, and they make them strong, ka'ashtarot halalu, like these cliffs, shein silaim chazakim, which are hard rocks. Okay. Okay. Baruch atah, Baruch Tanacha u'mishartecha. We're on chapter 28, verse 5. Blessed is your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed is your basket. Rashi says, Perosecha, this means your fruits. Doesn't mean bless your basket, it means bless your fruits, and also davar acher, davar lach, shetam mesanim v'san, or maybe it refers to something moist that you strain, like wine or oil. Mishartecha davar yavesh, it's a kneading bowl. Shenishar b'kli ve'eno zav, it remains in the vessel and it does not fall out of it. Okay. Then Rashi says, then the verse says, Baruch atah b'boacha, Baruch atah b'tzeisecha. Blessed are you in your comings, blessed are you in your goings. What a beautiful phrase. Hey, Rashi says, we might have, what do you think it means? Be blessed in your comings and your goings. I mean, nobody starts up with you. But Rashi says, no. It's just that when you leave the world, you be without sin, just like when you come into the world without sin. What a beautiful concept. Like when a baby's born, he has no sin, that you're being blessed, that when you leave the world, you're free of sin. What a beautiful idea. Yitain Hashem et oivecha akamim alecha nigafim lefanecha. Hashem should place your enemies that are rising up against you, and they'll be struck down before you. B'derech echad yeitzu elecha b'shiva drachim yanusu lefanecha. In one way, they will go out to you, and in 7 ways, they'll run away from you. Rashi says, Kain derech hanivalim levroach. Such is the way of those who panic to escape. Mitpazrim or kol tzad. They run away in all the directions.
Are these prophecies for the end times or just general blessing for the land of Israel? Because we're not supposed to have enemies.
Well, it's saying that if you're blessed, that if you listen to Hashem, this is what will happen. Someone's calling me. I'll just tell him I'm going to send this guy. Hold on. Somebody was trying to join me, was calling on FaceTime. I'm going to tell him, just join this year. If you want to, don't talk to me, join this year. Yeah.
The problem with, it's not a problem, but by saying you're going to be blessed with all these things, like your children and your animals that will have, it's not quite saying that if you don't have these, you're cursed. But if you don't have these, you're not blessed.
Well, you haven't counted the blessings. Accurate, but we're about to see the curses.
Do you know what I'm saying? Somebody that doesn't have kids, if you read this literally, you're saying you're going to be blessed with your children and things like that. So while it's not actively saying you're not going to be blessed if you don't have children, one could assume that they're not blessed if they don't have children.
Well, they didn't get this specific blessing. I mean, it's hard, but it is harsh. It's saying that having children is a blessing. Not everybody merits that, even though you could be a tremendous tzaddik.
The Rebbe didn't have children.
No, I'm saying it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, like the Rebbe and the Satmar Rebbe and Chazon Ish, the 3 greatest rabbis of the previous generation. They didn't have children, even more. But I'm saying, so it doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. It just means like it's a gift from God. Not everybody, for whatever reason, Hashem in his calculations does not give everybody that gift. So there's one aspect of the blessings, and the true ultimate blessings are in the world to come. But it is a very big question why some people get certain blessings and other people don't. Also, there's health, and there's nobody who escapes this world without facing nisyonos, challenges. Yeah. Okay. So then the verse says, but it's a very fair point. Verse 9, Yikimcha Hashem lo am kadosh. Hashem will confirm you for himself as a holy people. Kasher nishbalach, like he swore to you. Ki tishmor mitzvahs Hashem okecha. When you guard the mitzvahs of Hashem your God, you walk in his ways. Yeru kol amei haaretz, and all the people of the land will see Ki shem Hashem nikra alecha, that the name of God is called upon you. V'yaru mimeka, and they will be afraid from you. V'otircha Hashem tova, and God will give you lots of good. The fruits of your womb, your animals, your land, on the land that Hashem swore to your God to give to you. If God should open for you his storage house at Tov, at Hashemayim, open for you a storage house to give to you, the heaven to give you the rain of the land in its time, to bless all the work of your hand, and you will lend to many nations, but you won't borrow. Hello, Jeffrey. You could get a chumash, or you brought your own. So you'll be a lender and not a borrower. Who is it who said neither a lender nor borrower shall you be? Well, here the Torah says you shall lend. So, Hashem will make you like a head and not a tail. This is the idea that on Rosh Hashanah we have to eat the head of the sheep, head of the fish, so we should be a head and not a tail. You will only be above, you won't be below. When you listen to the commandments of Hashem your God, that I command you today, to guard and to do. And you should not depart from all the things I command you today, right to the left, to follow other gods and to worship them. Okay. So these are the blessings. Blessings seem beautiful, but now the curses. This is what's called the tochacha, the curses.
Does the Torah say when you have good news and bad news that you should always deliver the good news first? Because the blessings were given first?
I don't remember seeing anything like that in the Talmud. Do you say the good news or the bad news? I don't remember seeing that specific point in the Talmud. But it's a good question that based on this, you should always give the good news before the bad news. Because it says the blessings followed by the curses.
Although some people like bad news straight on. They like it, immediately.
People like to have the bad news because not knowing is even sometimes worse because you just imagine, your imagination goes wild. So just give it to us straight is what they say. Okay, so now we have the curses. It's called the rebuke, not the curses, the tochacha, the rebuke. If you don't listen to Hashem your God, to guard and to do all of his commandments, that I command you today, and all these curses shall come upon you, and they will overtake you. Now we say, Arura Tabayir, you'll be cursed in the city. Arura Tabasada, you'll be cursed in the field. Arura Tanachal Mishurtecha, your basket and your kneading bowl will be cursed. Arura Privit Necha, Ufriyan Masecha, the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land will be cursed. All this is what we just said. The offspring of your cattle and the herds of your sheep. Arura Tabavuecha, you'll be cursed when you come. Varura Ta, and you'll be cursed when you go. Now we're starting to branch out with the curses, more poetic. God will send upon you the me'era, the mehuma, and the megeres. What are these things? God will send upon you the me'era. What's the me'era? That is confusion. Degeneration. What's me'era? Rashi says chisaron, deficiency, like tsaras mameres, a degenerative tsaras. Veta mahuma, that's confusion. Rashi says shigush, confusion. Kol behalos, the sounds of panic. Ve'eta megeres, what's megeres? Worry. Whatever you do, asher taseh, everything that you do, adish mincha v'ad avatcha maher, until he destroys you, until you're quickly destroyed. Roa ma'alecha asher zavtani, on account of the evil of your deeds that you forsake me. Okay, so then,
Rabbi, but in Rechokotai, Hashem contradicted this, I think deliberately. He said that he's not going to kick us out speedily because otherwise the animals will take over the land, right?
you're
So-
saying it doesn't say the word maher in Bechukotai. Well, it's a very common phrase with the curses.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that he already promised us that as bad as it sounds, it's not going to be that, right?
I don't know. Find that source. I thought it meant, the source you're referring to, I thought it meant when they come into the land, the other nations will not be thrown out all at once so the animals don't take it over. I didn't realize that it was referring to when they themselves will be thrown out, to be done slowly so the animals don't take it over. If that's what you're claiming, then please find that source for me.
Yeah, I'll look after Shir.
Okay. Yeah, Beik Hashem b'cha daver. Hashem will attach the plague to you, ad karo until it consumes you, me'al adamah, from on the earth, asher tav Hashem orishta, from which you are coming there to inherit. Yakacha Hashem b'shachefes, Hashem will strike you down with a shachefes, with a fever, ubakadachas, with parching, ubadalekes, with the sword, ubacharchor, ubacharev, ubashidafon, ubayerakon. So God will strike you down with all of these things. These are these terrible fevers, the sword, the blasting, the withering. Let's see what Rashi says. B'shachefes shebsaron yishchaf. His flesh will waste away, b'nafuach, and become swollen. Kadachas is with a fever. Lashon ki eish kadcha b'api. Like the fire is burning inside me. V'hu eish shachom. It's the fire of the sick. In French, it's the malve. Mal du feu, an illness of fever. Very febrile. Ubadalakas, it's hotter than fever. These are different types of fevers. Ubacharchor, and parching. This is an illness which heats one up inside the body. You're always want to drink. Balaz ishradimant. Isardimant. This is scorching fever. Hashon va'atzmi charamini chorev. Nachar mapuach meyesh. Ubacharev, and the sword, yavio echad v'yasot. He will bring invading armies upon you. Ubeshidafon v'yerakon. Makas tivua shebesados. These are the types of produce that will be destroyed in the fields. Rashi says shidafon is a ruach kadim. It's destroyed by the east wind. In French, it's the hasliad. Whatever that means.
Were there any comparisons to the plague of Deber and?
All of them. Yeah, it seems like it's the same thing.
But didn't Hashem say he would never punish the
That
Jews with?
That was Barat. He said he would never bring the Barat, the hail. But he did do that also later on.
Right.
Rashi talks about how that hail was different. In Exodus, he talks about that.
Okay.
A very good point. Yeah. Yerakon is the withering, Yovesh, the drying out. The produce pales, and it becomes yellow. In Old French, it's called the crow.
It's saying jaundice and.
Yeah, it's yellowing.
Disease of the crops.
Okay, adavatcha until you're destroyed. Targum aditevad. Komar adavod otcha. Until you'll be annihilated. Sheteklame elecha. You'll vanish on your own. Okay, verse 4. Okay. And your heavens that are over your head will be copper. Okay, this is the next verse. The heavens that are above your head will be copper. And the lands that are beneath you will be iron. Will be iron. Will be iron. What does Rashi say? Oh, Jeff. So this is a very important Rashi. Very important Rashi. Very, very important Rashi. Okay, so it says these curses in Leviticus, these curses in Deuteronomy, Moshe mipiatzmo amar. This section of the curses, Moses said by himself. Whereas those in the book of Leviticus, mipi HaKadosh Baruch Hu amar. It was said by God. Kemash ma'an, just like they sound. V'chei ne'amar, v'im lo tishma'u li. So in Leviticus, it says, if you don't listen to me, I mean, it's God speaking. Then telchu mi carry. If you walk with me casually. V'chein hu omer, whereas here it said in the thou God, b'kol Hashem alkecha, listen to the voice of God. Yet beik Hashem b'cha, Hashem will attach to you. Yakecha Hashem, Hashem will strike you. Akal Moshe b'kil osav, v'amran b'lashon yachid. Moshe was milder in his curses, saying them in the singular. You, meaning to say the individual will be cursed. The Gam came b'kol azui kal. Also Moshe says it in the singular. Sheba rishonotu omer et shmechem kabarzav et artzechem kivin nechoshes. In the curse of Leviticus, it says it in the plural. Your heavens in the plural. But here it says it in the singular. Shelo yu hashamayim meziyin kederach she'ena barzal maziyah. Mitoch kach yeh chorav ba'olam v'aretz tei mazat. So in Leviticus, it talks about how the heavens don't sweat and the earth is dry. But the markeves peruseh, and that causes its fruits to rot. But here it said in the singular, your copper will and your land will be like iron. That the heavens would sweat in the manner of copper. And and even though they don't pour rain, so even though they're not going to rain, it's not going to be as dry in the world. So that the fruit won't rot. It's not going to be that bad. In any case, it's a curse. The heavens will not pour rain. Basically, Rashi is saying two very important points. Rashi is saying that this curses, unlike the ones in Leviticus, were said by Moshe. The ones in Leviticus were said by God. Moshe said them in the singular. Hello, Benjamin. Moshe said them in the singular, and God said them. He said them in the plural. So Moshe was going more lenient. And another example of the leniency is that Moshe Rabbeinu, his curses were more lenient. Here was copper as opposed to iron, which is stricter. So these are the ways in which when Moshe gave the curses, he went easier than when God went in. Hello, good evening, Michael. Good afternoon. So these are some of the distinctions. He said he went easy on the people. I don't know, Rashi doesn't express why. But he doesn't say why. Just says that he did it. He was milder. He was milder than God. It doesn't say why. Maybe Rabbi Steinsaltz says it, but Rabbi Rashi does not. Rashi doesn't say why. Maybe Moshe. I don't know why. Okay, so we're continuing with the curses. What?
Almost.
Well, almost what? Oh no, we have the minion here. People are in the car. I'm just enjoying staying with my friends. So it says, next verse says, Yitencha Hashem. Oh wait, the next pasuk is Chav Daled. It says, Yitein Hashem at the Tower Tzachah Avak Vafar. God will turn your rain into like dust and dirt. Min Hashemayim Yered Alecha Adi Shamdach. From the heavens it will fall down upon you until you are destroyed. Rashi says, the rain of your land is dust and dirt. Zika the Basar Mitra. This is the wind which follows the rain. Matar Yered. The rain falls below Kol Tzarko, but not as much as it should. Rainbow Kedela Arbitz at Hafar. And there's not enough to water down the soil. The Ruach Ba, the wind comes, Malas Avak, and it raises the dust, Mechases Esav Azraim, and then it covers up the sprouts with the dust. And then becomes mud and it dries up and it rots. This is just hello, Eitan, how you doing? Okay, so we'll have to stop here. God willing, we'll pick this up tomorrow.